I'm Vincent Neal, number 67, D lineman.
Scott Alexander, defensive coordinator, my 8th season here at Carmel.
All right, I'm Deshaun Barnes at CHTV. Question for Coach. After starting 0-2, you guys have been on a roll winning your last 3 games. Compared to the first 2 weeks of the season, how has the energy changed?
I think it's more just a sense of urgency. Our guys realize, the first 2 weeks we're in those games and just didn't have enough to finish at the end, giving up a couple of big plays defensively in particular. Practices have ramped up. Our kids are focused. We know the challenge in front of us each week. We know there's not a week off from the mixed schedule that we're facing right now and ahead of the playoffs. So they've responded well and we're doing some good things.
Thank you.
Darren Watson, CHTV. Question for Blake. As one of the leaders on this team, what are your focal points you have to address to keep the team spirits high?
A lot of our teammates think or most of the team knows that who we're facing, North Central, over 5 team, but we still can't be complacent about it. They're still dangerous. They have nothing to lose, so we gotta treat it like any other game.
Luke Thompson, WHJE. Question for Vincent. How have you as a defense developed strong chemistry as the season has gone on?
I think as the season's gone on, we've gotten a lot closer. The guys really, in the first couple of games, we weren't communicating as well as we are now. But, as we hit our stride, I think we're communicating really well and really getting it done.
Question for Coach Will Simmons with WHJE. Last week, North Central only had 71 offensive yards going into the half and only 48 in the second half with a total of 119 yards on the game. Not much for a defense. What's the defensive strategy going into this game, knowing that their offensive progression is not well?
Yeah, we see they have athletes. The receiver, TJ McWilliams, going to Purdue. He's explosive. He's a threat in the screen game, threat down the field. The running back, Keandre Perkins, doing an amazing job. Showing plays left and right that he's a guy we need to account for also in the screen game as well as running the football. They've got talent. They've got some pieces that their record is not showing how successful, how explosive they can be. There are some good things on the table there that we have to be prepared for, and really, it's stopping those 2 guys, taking them out of what they want to do and playing our game on defense.
Another question for Vincent. Coming into this game where Carmel's the favorite, how do you keep yourself humble and continue to make the right plays?
I feel like just knowing how much potential the other team has, they're a good team, and it's impossible to underestimate, good teams. Just keeping in mind how much they can get done, and knowing that they're hungry for the win.
Question for Blake. How have you as a receiving core adapted to Desmond Duffy's injury?
We always talk about next man up, it's hard losing a guy like Des, of course, he's our X factor, but we've had a couple guys like Nate Rogers, Adrian Caldwell, Ewell, Tulu, all step up and get the job done.
Question for Coach. In the last 3 games, you've taken some reasonable leads. How do you keep the defense focused and stay in control of the game?
Yeah, we talk about it every time we get to the sideline that it's going to be on us to go back out and keep doing what we're doing. We've been able to have some success with 3 and outs and getting some breaks, and the offense has done an awesome job picking us up, having extended drives on their side and letting us get rest so we can go out and do what we do again. So it's just keeping that focus, staying on the gas, and finishing as we've done and need to continue to do.
Thank you. Another question for Blake. After going for 5 catches versus Lawrence North, how does it boost your confidence to make more big plays?
It definitely did boost my confidence, but as a receiver, you always gotta have confidence every play, even if you do drop some next play. But I really look forward to tonight and hopefully, get the win.
Another question for you, Blake. Last week was very interesting with Lavelle Stewart starting in the game. He played very well. Looking this week at the depth chart, Lavelle Stewart in first again. How has he changed the offensive energy with his energy, I should say?
When he runs the ball, he definitely just has a different mindset, I'd say. He always keeps moving his feet. He always gets yards after being hit too. So that's really helped us as an offense, even helped the passing game as well. Good run game also causes a good passing game.
Another question for Vincent. Versus Ellen, what moments did you see on the defense that showed you that the win was defined and you guys got it?
I feel like throughout the whole game, we had to keep like stepping on the gas, you know, like no matter how much we were up, I think it was important that we kept on going to keep the 3 and outs coming. Like at no point where was it like we can let up, you know, you had to keep it going the whole time.
Question for Coach. Tonight is North Central homecoming, so the energy is obviously going to be high. How do you keep your team composed in a night like tonight?
Yeah, you know, we've been pretty good on the road. We've handled those situations well in terms of the travel, in terms of our prep before we get on the bus. With, you know, their focus tonight with homecoming, and, you know, it's a longer halftime, so that changes some things, and, you know, how we treat that time period. Pre-game is usually a little bit more energetic when we're in those situations. Our guys handle it. They know what to expect, and we talked about it this week to be prepared for that. And, you know, we'll come out. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans. Those are always exciting times and cool experiences, and, you know, it'll be fun tonight.
Question for Blake. How important is momentum to the offense tonight?
Very important. That's how we base like almost all our games off of. Like, and it's hard to like, you know, go 3 and out sometimes, but like offense has to come together when we get off the field, when defense is going, and they explain like what's happening, what we're seeing on the film, and then execute next drive.
Question for Coach. In your victory against Pike, they had more possession time, more plays ran, and more first downs, but you finished the game with a 3-possession lead. As a defensive coordinator, is there any reasoning or strategy behind this?
You know, Pike's better than their record has shown. They've got a really good plan defensively that posed some challenges for us. Offensively, you know, they made a couple of adjustments at the half that led to some success for them, and then they carried that over this last week against Warren Central in a really competitive game. So, you know, we expect big things from them. From our side of it, playing with a lead or not, you know, we don't want to change the message much between drives to our team, you know, especially our unit. We've got great senior leadership. We're excited to have Vince as a captain this week, and, you know, what he's done on the field, but also on the sideline vocally with his teammates jumps out. You know, being in that position is great. You know, we want to just keep finishing. That's the one thing that we kind of went back to, especially that Pike week, opening the second half.